So good day again, students. So we are now in our module 2 in our media and information literacy. So in our last meeting last week, so we already started with the introduction of media and information literacy. So you learned the basic definition of terms, okay, some of the etiquettes to follow in using the internet. Okay, so to move on, we will now have again, so let's have module 2. So module 2 is about the following competencies. Okay, let's have these competencies. Okay, it's here. So identify the similarities and difference between and among media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. Then define key concepts: media information technology literacy, media information literacies. Okay, so to have our discussions, I will have here my PowerPoint presentation about our topic. Okay, about the similarities and difference of media information literacy. Okay, let's have this slide here. Okay, so let's have this Venn diagram. Okay, so let's have this I think you're familiar with this Venn diagram in your mathematics in grade 7. Okay, so I have here 3 circles, so with each term, so in a color maroon, so it's media literacy, and green it's digital literacy, and blue information literacy. Okay, so I want you to identify what you think are the similarities among these terms. So you put it in here. Example, if these 3 terms have similarities, you put your answer here in the inner portion. Okay, then if there are similarities between media literacy and technology literacy, so you can use this portion. Then for similarities between media literacy and information literacy, you write this in the portion. And for their differences, you write it in this outer portion here, here, and here. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so to answer that also, so I will show you this video presentation. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so the answer to that Venn diagram is can be found in this video presentation. Okay, let's watch this.
Ranging from the early printing press to newspapers, magazines, phones, video games, and even the internet, it is without a doubt that media is slowly evolving to be an indispensable part of our daily lives. It is for this reason that everyone, especially students like ourselves, know what it is to be literate in terms of media, information, and technology. But what are the similarities and differences between them?
Media, technology, and information literacy are all literacies of information, involving sets of abilities which enable us to be competent in all aspects of media. It is also essential to be able to actually decipher and understand anything that we encounter.
Media and technology literacy are closely related, with both requiring to have visual literacy, knowledge building, and cultural competence. The main difference between the two is that Media Lit generally focuses on being engaged consumers of media, while Digital Lit is more about participating in digital media in ethical ways.
In both information and technology literacy, finding information and using it is what makes them similar to each other. The difference between the two is that technology literacy is more about organizing, evaluating, and creating info, while information literacy is more about using and managing the already created info. Hence, Infolit is more of utilizing info than producing them.
Media and information literacy is both about interpreting and making informed judgments as users of media and information, or information management in general. It foresees information and judges it based on its purpose. Media is distinct from information in a way that media is more connected to media content and social effects, while info is more on library science. As we grow smarter and more experienced, so does media, and it is up to us to be ready for the changes happening around us. Through being literate in these studies, it will help us to be ready to face the new change approaching, and enable us to adapt appropriately to anything that comes our way. In fact, it will very much help anyone in order to become successful one day. Regardless of what happens, being literate in terms of media will definitely help us in all that we do.
The video presentation. Okay, so again, to answer this Venn diagram, so you need to analyze the video presentation I given to you. Okay, to add something more in the, let's have this video presentation. Okay, so that is the video presentation. So I hope you get something from it. Okay, so to answer those activities, so I have here this activity. It's going to be found in your module. This is in activity, I think activity 4. So just change it to activity 1. Okay, so using your own words, write the meaning of the following. So media literacy, information literacy, technology literacy, and media information literacy. Okay, then so you write the similarities and differences in the Venn diagram, just like this one. Again, so you answer this in a Microsoft Word. I think you can do this. So just use text box to put your answers here. You're familiar with text box in Microsoft Word. Okay, then let's have these rubrics or criteria for grading your activity. So 5, it shows comprehensive answers to the question. It is very informative and realistic. Then you read the other parts, okay, so that you will know. Then number 2, placement of statements within the Venn diagram. All statements are noting similarities and difference between and among media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. Okay, so I hope you understood our lesson in similarities and difference of media and information literacy. Okay, so now we will move to our next topic, which is the value of being a media and information literate individual. Okay, so from the topic itself, so can really understood already what is the meaning or what we're going to discuss in this topic. Okay, so are you an information literate individual or a media literate individual? So I think you watch news or see some events or news in social media like Facebook. Do you believe it right away? What do you see in the Facebook? Okay, so I think during ECQ period, there are a lot of news that intends to deceive us. I think you also recognize that. Okay, so if you recognize that, you have this value of being a media information literate individual. Okay, so let's have our discussion. Okay, let's have this in the 21st century. The century our children will live in, the century they will in fact shape. Media literacy will not be a luxury, it will be a necessity. Okay, this is by Linda Ellerby, a journalist and a television producer. Okay, so in her statement, it's very clear that media literacy is already a necessity. Okay, it's not a luxury anymore. So all of us, especially you, are already grade 11. So you must be a media information literate individual. So to cope up with the demands and challenges in the society, because nowadays there are a lot of misconception happens, especially if you are very used in social media like Facebook. But there are a lot of use there. You can see the violence, sexual content, etc. Okay, so as an individual, you must learn to filter those information if they are true or not. Okay, let's have this. Okay, have you encountered this news online? I think you have shown this in Facebook, okay, and other social media platforms. Just like this, apat na asawa ng bagong upong presidente nagrambulan. So titulong First Lady pinagkatalunan. Okay, next. Breaking, Pope Francis just back Trump released incredible statement why spread is everywhere. Okay, then this is common. In this third picture, sad day in Hollywood, we say farewell to one of the great Sylvester Stallone, di ba? So I think you often see this especially celebrities, okay, that they died, etc. Okay, another. What about this? Do you believe in this? On this news? Okay, what's your reaction upon reading the article? Okay, so if you are confused, it means that your brain is analyzing the information if it's true or not. Okay, so there are many fake news that surrounds us, especially in the internet. Okay, so to help us understand what is fake and real, so let's have this presentation I have here. Okay, so this is activity 2. Okay, so I just mix this in the module to make it more comprehensive. Okay, so don't worry, I will just post this in our Facebook group and in Moodle. Okay, so identify which of the following is fake news. Put an X mark on the space if you think it's real or fake. Okay, and the first pictures is, I think you're familiar with her. She is Sharon Cuneta. So in the article by Asian News, enough is enough as actress reveals she's HIV positive. Is it real or fake? Okay, the answer is it is fake. So it's fake news. Okay, next, the second picture by independent.co.uk. New Filipino law requires all students to plant 10 trees if they want to graduate. Okay, is this true or false, or real or fake? Okay, this is true because now recently we have I think the Congress already approved that the parents or the graduating students will is required to plant trees. Okay, so that's already I think it passed the Congress. Eventually it will become a law in our country. Okay, in the third picture, Cebu Parish Priest impregnates two daughters of his associate pastor. Okay, is it true or not, or true or fake? This is true. Okay, so it has here the source Ronda Balita Online News. Okay, then the fourth, Queen Elizabeth, who would have thought that one day Philippines will get a brave man like Duterte. Okay, so this is by Britannia. Is it real or fake? So again, this is fake. Okay. Okay, so I hope you learn how to distinguish it if it's fake or not. Okay, so to guide you in determining if that news is fake or not, so we have here some tips. Okay, by the way, this is the definition. These are the definitions of the terms. So let's have a run through. Literacy refers to the ability to read and write. Media involves methods or tools in which information can be exchanged and communication can be facilitated. Then technology refers to the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life, or as it sometimes praised, to the change and manipulation of human environment. Then media literacy pertains to the ability to access, analyze, and respond to a range of media. Then information literacy refers to the set of abilities requiring individuals to recognize when information is needed and how to locate, evaluate, and use it effectively. Then technology literacy or digital literacy refers to the set of skills, attitudes, and knowledge necessary to understand and operate the basic functions of information and communications technologies, including devices and tools. Okay, so this is a tip here. So below are tips on how to counter fake news. So ito, let's have this. So first, consider the source. Okay, if you see news that you think it troubles you, if it's true or not, so try to determine its source, if it's coming from a legitimate news organization like GMA, CNN, BBC, etc. Okay, those are legitimate news organizations. Okay, for next is the read beyond. Okay, headlines can be outrageous and effort to get clicks. So what the whole story? Okay, so you read beyond essentially the news. Okay, sometimes the headline will deceive you, just like what is a common issue in ABS-CBN. So sometimes their headline are very provoking. So it does not really tell the whole story of their news. Okay, so as a media information individual, so you must read. Okay, you just not read the headlines, you read the whole story. Okay, so that's one way of being a information literate. So you balance everything. Okay, the two sides of the story. Okay, then check the author. Okay, do a quick search on the author. Are they credible or are they real? Okay, so this is very important, especially if the author has no credibility, if he or she is not a journalist, okay, or an expert, a doctor, or a licensed doctor, etc. Okay. Then supporting sources, click on those links, determine if the info given actually supports the story. Okay, so usually if you have a news, there is a link with, embedded in it. Okay, so you click it, try to determine if the source is true. Okay, so another thing is, have here, check the date. So reposting old news stories doesn't mean they're relevant to current events. Okay, so I think this is common in Facebook. So someone will post a photo, example if in an accident, so that is already happened a long time ago, so they will put it. Okay, so check the date. Okay, next, check your biases, consider if your own beliefs could affect your judgment. Okay, so this is very important also. Okay, so I think we discussed this in the noises, about communication process. So biases, you have your personal judgment already in hearing the news. Okay, so you don't believe anymore because you have a bias to this person, etc. Okay, then is it a joke? If it's too outlandish, it might be satire. Research a site and the author to be sure. Okay, so okay, next, ask the experts, ask the librarian, or consult a fact-checking site. Okay, so to verify the news, so I recommend you to search it in various or different news portals. Okay, example, you see on Facebook that a person or your favorite artist died. Okay, so try to search it in Yahoo News, BBC, CNN. So if you get that news in those three news platforms or portals, so it is, then you can determine that that news is true. Okay, so I hope you have this guide. Okay, so do not believe right away, do not overreact. Okay, this is from International Federation of Library Associations and Institution. Okay, so this photo is credited to them. Okay, so make sure when you also download your photos, so you give credit to your source. Okay, let's have here another activity. Identify the following statement as media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. Write ML for media literacy, IL information literacy, or TL for technology literacy. Okay, so turning on a laptop, is it media literacy, information literacy, or technology literacy? Okay, this is technology literacy, TL. Okay, correct. Next, encoding, is it ML, IL, or TL? Okay, this is ML. Okay, media literacy, because you are typing. Okay, so you are converting it to different forms of media. Okay, that is media literacy. Number 3, research on the biography of Benjamin Franklin. What's your answer? Okay, correct. This is IL, or information literacy. Okay, next, having multiple social media platforms. Okay, this is media literacy. Okay, I hope you get all the correct answer. Okay, let's have here another activity. So here I want you to answer this. Again, submit it to my personal Gmail account. Okay, so what can I do? Media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, and respond to a range of media through information. Although information has become accessible to anyone, it is a challenge to filter what is credible information from fake news. As a media literate person, you should be critical and be able to spot fake news. As a final task for this lesson, browse your Facebook wall and look for at least 5 articles. Take note, 5 articles. Use the checklist provided by the IFLA in verifying information. Okay? Use the table below in recording your findings. So you copy this table in a Microsoft Word, then you type your answer. Okay, again, you use the checklist. Okay, this one. Okay, I hope you get this already, or you take a screenshot in this photo here. Okay, so that is your guide in answering this activity. Okay, then summary. So media is a powerful tool which can be used to change society for the better. Media information and technology literacy are necessary skills to live a full life in the 21st century. Then fake news proliferates online as media literate persons. Okay. Let's have my presentation here. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, I have here again another presentation.
Every day, we spend 8 hours exposed to different forms of media. We practically live with it. It keeps us entertained, informed, and opinionated. Media influences us through news headlines and information we see online, on TV, and hear on the radio. It creeps into our daily lives subtly and subconsciously through magazines and advertisements that create and recreate standards of success, beauty, and living. To movies where we are exposed to violence, fantasy, and crooked ideas about love. Even the music that enters our ears are part of media's influence. And every day, our brain processes all these sorts of information from a variety of sources. And sometimes, we no longer wonder whether the information we receive is true or not. We believe it right away. We react to it right away. We no longer are watchful with what enters our minds. We no longer think twice before we respond. We no longer can identify ourselves from what influences us. Yes, media brings people together. It can make us laugh, think, consider. It can make us feel right. But if we're not careful, it can also fill our minds with false information and can make us confused and upset. It can affect our thinking, even the things we desire and who we eventually become. So how can we guard our minds? How can we train ourselves to evaluate and filter information from media? We can spare a lot of assumptions by simply verifying information. The answer to that is being media literate. Being media literate is simply taking a step further, digging a little deeper, considering a little longer, and thinking a little harder about the information we get from media. Because what you expose yourself to affects you. Be media literate. Guard your mind, guard your life.
Okay, so I hope you get something from the video presentation. Okay, so let's have this information of media information literate individual. So I have here I think this 10 tips. Number 1, meets the needs of students to be wise consumers of media, managers of information, and responsible producers of their ideas, using powerful multimedia tools of a global media culture. Okay, So if you are media information literate, you will be a wise consumer of media. Number 2, and it engages students. So bringing the world of media into the classroom connects learning with real life and validates their media culture as rich environment or learning. And number 3, gives students and teachers alike a common approach to critical thinking that when internalized becomes second nature for life. Next, provides an opportunity for integrating all subjects. 5, helps meet state standards. Same time, using fresh contemporary media content which students love. Okay, so if you are tech savvy, if you know how to research online, so it can help meet the standards, especially in senior high. Okay, so because now we expect that you are good in computers or in surfing the internet. Okay, then number 6, increases ability and proficiency of students. So to communicate and disseminate their thoughts, ideas in a wide range of print and electronic media forms and even international venues. Okay, so nowadays it's very common. Students have blogs, okay, and other. Okay, so as a media information letter individual, so also you must be careful on what you post on the social media accounts, especially your Facebook. So if you're mad, so do not post something that can hurt others or can also eventually destroy you because of your emotion, just like what Coco Martin did. I think you saw his video last I think that was March or April during the it is in May, okay, during the shutdown of ABCBN. Okay, so I think do not post those emotions, okay, when you are really mad, okay, because it will give bad reactions or bad comments to the other people. Okay, number 7, media literacy is inquiry process transforms teaching. Okay, so I think if you are engaged especially in social media, so you have this inquiry process. You try to verify if that information is true or not. Okay, so I hope you're like that. So okay, and I think so you must have this also because you will have your practical research 1 in second sem. So you must have this inquiry process in you. Okay, so you will search related literature to support your research. Okay, that is in second sem practical research 1 about qualitative research. Number 8, meet the needs of students to be wise consumers of media. Then by focusing on the process skills rather than content knowledge, students gain the ability to analyze any message in any media and thus are empowered for living all their lives in a media saturated culture. The number 10, not only benefits individual student but benefits society by providing tools and methods that encourage respectful discourse that leads to mutual understanding and builds citizenship skills needed to participate in and contribute to public debate. Okay, so I hope you get all these 10 importance of media information literate individual. Again, so if you have questions, so you can PM me in my Facebook account or can email me. So don't worry, so I'm not that too strict teacher that I will not entertain your queries. So it's good to have queries, especially now we do not have face-to-face classes. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, so goodbye class.